that's how we ended the last season of Mountain Mafia. Now we're left with this. Let me show you what we got going on. The main thing we've got that we noticed after that flip, there are no bolts going from the engine mount into the block. Haven't looked at it close enough to see if they've stripped or they pulled out or what, but we're gonna take a look at that today. You can see here that the engine moved, messed up this pulley, the radiator cover, actually the radiator frame itself here too. There's a bit of carnage going on here. Oh, even in the intake, look at this. This is all crushed. The remote reservoir got moved up, so we need to do a full evaluation of this, tear down, and we're gonna make a video series out of it. So you've seen a little bit of a walk around on that. Quick details about the truck. It's a 94 Bronco, 351 Windsor, rollarized block. It had an E4OD automatic transmission, converted it over to the ZF5 manual 5-speed with the granny low. Also had to change the computer out. 1-ton axles, 91 F350, Dana 60 Kingpin in the front, Sterling 10 1/4 in the back. Stock transfer case, and a bunch of fab work. So now, we're gonna go through this, and we have hopefully a legitimate plan figured out. This is our chaos board. We're calling it Project Crimson Cannon. First step, we're gonna evaluate and analyze what we got going on here. Next, we're gonna tear it down. The frame is gonna stay, but we're gonna pull everything, including removing the rest of the body, which is the floor and the firewall. We're gonna pull the drivetrain, we're gonna make it mobile, and then we have all the other fun things we have to do. All right, guys, day 2 of the build of the Crimson Cannon. Now, we're gonna have to remove the tires, the wheels, and before we do that, we wanna get measurements of the frame, front, middle, and rear. We wanna get measurements of clearances on the axle tubes and the differentials. Now that we took the measurements of the frame, rear, middle, and front, we also wanna take into consideration the angle of the frame. And as you can see, front does sit up a little bit high, and we're measuring off of the cage that we've built prior, in addition to references off the body and several points in the frame. We're getting about 1.2 degrees high on the front. So just through driver experience, I would like to see over the hood a little bit more. So to bring that rear up a little bit, drop that front down a little bit, that would be a lot nicer. Time to move on, take off those wheels. Now that we have the tires removed from the Bronco, we're gonna take them to Lake City Auto Care and they're going to dismount them for us. Pulling into Lake City Auto Care. We have removed the tires off the Bronco and we have already sold the wheels. So what we need to do is get them off the tires. So Daniel, what does Lake City Auto Care offer?
So we do it all. We do tune-ups, we do electrical diag, we do alignments, brakes, tires, and just general repair.
Awesome. Well, what do you say we get these going right now?
I think that's a great idea.
All right. Well, we went ahead and got rid of those tires. We sold all those Mickey Thompson Baja Pro XS tires. We did upgrade to a set of 4 of the 43-inch by 15 wide. Those things are gonna be super badass. We did manage to sell the transmission, the whole assembly, so that cash is gonna go towards the C6 we picked up. And we had another cool YouTuber come by from Montana. He picked up the Sterling and the Dana 60. Those are on his new rigs right now. Most of the Edelbrock parts have come in at this point for the engine. We have the upper intake manifold, basically everything except the heads. We're still waiting on those. We have the fuel cell. We have the ballistic fabrication stuff coming in very shortly. That includes the shave kit, the whole truss kit, ring and pinions, and all the joints for the suspension. So we got the vehicle on the jack stands, both axles are on jack stands, and the frame is on jack stands. Comparing the measurements that we had before to what we have now, it appears that, well, not surprisingly, the frame is tweaked. So once we get the engine, all the drivetrain, the body out, we will then be able to straighten the frame as we need to with some tubing, a little pressure, a little heat, whatever we got to do to make it straight. So not that big of a deal. It's like 1/4 to 1/2 inch from corner to corner, but we'll be able to handle that. No more fuel injected suicide machine. Crimson Cannon, we're working on it.
Fuck that! We're ditching that idea because we have something much better in mind. There were problems, and we're going to discuss that. Look, this evaluation, analyze thing right here, we did a lot of that after all this tearing down. We had to add another 2.5, 1.5 section here. The frame. The frame is a huge pain in the ass. From the factory, you look down and it's not straight. Not because it was jacked up, but because of the hydroforming and there's no straight lines, there's nothing flat. So that was a huge pain to work off of. Second, we did a lot of CAD work and we built the Bronco from a full tube chassis standpoint using the existing cage. Okay, so seriously, the real reason why I wanted to work off of this cage right here is because sentimentality, right? This was built to match the shape of the body of the Bronco. And so I really wanted to hold on to the essence of the Bronco. And this cage was going to be part of that, but it's not going to be that. It can't be that. I want it to be a lot more of its full potential, right? It's full badassery. So it's okay because the heart and soul of the Bronco is going into the next build, the engine, right? And so, well, I'm gonna drop you another CAD video and I'll show you what I've worked up so far. The new Crimson Cannon build by Heavy Metal Off-Road. This is going to be raced in the Mountain Mafia Havoc race series in the Rampage class, which is 43 an inch below tire size. And we're sitting right at 43 inches. In the rear, we have a main feature of this design, which is the rocket rack. And this is the 24-inch Gladiator model, which sits level with the roof. And this will be part of the race and the trail runs that we're going to do. So everything is beefed up. Suspension's mostly figured out, engine mounts and all that fun stuff. So let's get to building.
Oh my God, I can't handle